Part 374. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu. Chapter 3731. Not much else to say. Now those hundreds of clans in the small world of Shushan Pavilion can provide millions or even hundreds of millions of power of faith every day. So take out a little and just drizzle. What? You kid, say it again. I didn't quite understand just now. What are you talking about? Good guy. The power of hundreds of millions of strands of faith. One strand is equivalent to 100 strands, so this is already tens of billions of strands of faith, okay. What the hell are you thinking? Is this an astronomical figure? You boy. Shui Wanren opened his mouth and took a deep breath at this moment. He was really shocked. While speaking, his eyes flickered uncontrollably, and his thoughts became more and more confused. It's so exciting. Can it still work? Unless you admit that you are a true god, it is absolutely impossible. Even in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, we can't mobilize so much power of faith. Things that even the Temple of the Alliance of Light cannot do, to some extent, only the true God can do it. Shui Wan's eyes were piercing. Even now, he still thinks about these things in his heart. A true God at every turn, endless. The layout is bigger, okay. This world is full of unknowns. The so-called true God is just a little bit stronger than us. Don't be too mythical. The power of faith can be obtained by the true God, why can't we? The key is to find the right path. Anyway, I have already put my words here. I have enough power of faith, but now I am short of people. I can supply the power of faith to the end as much as the Deputy Palace Master can get the Supreme Saint. As for whether they can succeed in being promoted to demigods with the power of these beliefs, it depends on their own destiny. This is the first time I have come into contact with this thing, and I don't really understand it. In Fang Fan's world, immediately spoke very straightforwardly. Not a big problem. Stabilizing the situation in all directions is the most important thing. This. Shui Wanren wanted to say something more, but seeing Fang Fan's upright expression, he swallowed the words again. It sounds exciting. You are so confident, what else is there to say? Steady. This wave is really stable. This is also a great thing. It's taking off. Really took off. Excitingly don't want to. My mind is full of thoughts, my consciousness is messy, and the corners of my mouth are frantically flamboyant. Interesting. What's the situation? Why is the power of faith around here soaring? These powers of faith were emptied in an instant. I haven't felt it yet. Where did it go? The overflow is gone. Taishiji was moving back and forth in the power of faith that he had allocated, but suddenly he looked bewildered. The abundant and pure power of faith that had gathered around him disappeared in an instant. The power of faith was sucked dry by her. The girl's body looks terrifying. The surrounding power of faith was swallowed up by her. Wu Meiling was stunned for a moment, and then she sighed with emotion. Hearing Wu Meiling's yelling, everyone's eyes immediately flocked. I saw that the tens of thousands of strands of faith scattered around seemed to be drawn by some special force, and at this moment they gathered around Lena and frantically moved around. Then it entered Lena's body geometrically, as if it was completely swallowed by Lena. This picture doesn't look quite right. Among them, there must be problems. There are many problems. The situation is broken. The situation is also very serious. It's true to be steady. If you can't stabilize, you will pull your hips instantly. This is the most important thing. How to act at this time. The light is shining, the posture is surging. God Lord. Master. I want. Lena blinked her beautiful eyes, and her voice gradually became more charming. At this moment, her skin gradually turned pink, and her pair of peach blossom eyes were charming. The picture is beautiful. Looks very handsome. It's just that when this behavior and behavior come together, it's very numb. What the hell is going on with this shit? Can you stop for a little bit? Something happened, something really happened. Hip stretching to the extreme. Thoughts are messy and my brain is buzzing. For the rest of the bells and whistles, total silence is enough. What is there to say? It's over. The cool moonlight is stabbing in place. Husband. Didn't you say that Lena has no relationship with you? You told me so swearingly back then. At that time, I really believed in your ghost. That's how you lied to me. That's it? That's it? Husband. You are having an affair with Lena. You have it. I didn't say anything about you, but why did you lie to me? What are you doing? The shy voices became more and more, and the posture of gnashing teeth gathered in an all-round way. While talking, the sound of breathing gradually became extremely rapid. Not much else to say, this time the posture is in place, and it really exploded. Chu Ceci ground her silver teeth, she felt cheated. It doesn't matter if you're a scum, you can find women outside. As for men, it's normal to have some fixed physiological impulses. But why are you lying to me? Women's minds are still relatively delicate, and at the same time, they will think of more things. At least this heart will feel extremely complicated. Heart, messed up. His eyes trembled. Thoughts exploded. Fang Fan. What can he say now? Can he say that he is more wrong than Doi? This shit has something to do with him having a hammer. Ah. Did it get involved with him? Damn it, it's really difficult for me. Fang Fan let out a foul breath, his face darkened at the moment, speechless. Just play, just play. Just follow along and do things. How are you? What else do you want? How come these powers of faith have been swallowed by you alone? What's wrong with your body? Fang Fan supported Lena's swaying body, couldn't help frowning, and then began to speak in all aspects, this time frowning, his expression became very abrupt. It's complicated. Too difficult. What's the matter? What the hell are you trying to do? Can you stop bullshitting like this? Let's have a good talk, shall we? My lord, after devouring these powers of faith, I feel like I'm going to be promoted. But it's still a little bit worse. Lena licked her red lips, and her eyes became brighter as she spoke. Panting for breath at this moment, his eyes instantly turned blood red. Stimulation, in place. One heart, full beating. It would be a lie to say that there is no feeling at all. What is derived at this moment is the most authentic inner feeling. Promotion. Almost forgot, you are also in the Supreme Saint realm. Could it be, are you going to survive the demigod thunder disaster? Fang Fan regained his energy immediately, and there is such a good thing. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3732. Lena is from Fang Fan. Lena regards Fang Fan as the supreme true god. Lena's strength represents the improvement of Fang Fan's camp. Just 2 days after Lena was lifted out of the Hall of Merit, he could obtain a demigod. No matter how many demigods are present, it is undeniable that demigods are still the top existence at the moment. Under Fang Fan's command, there is currently only one quasi-demigod combat power, and that is the golden armored puppet. The other one is the high-ranking Saint Realm Blood Shura Legion. Casting Sura Unity at a critical moment can also temporarily increase 2 levels of combat power, thus possessing quasi-demigod combat power. But neither the golden armored puppets nor the Blood Shura Legion are actually pure demigod combat power. The golden armored puppet needs Star Core and God Stone fragments as energy to drive. The Bloodshura Legion can only hold on to the quasi-demigod combat power for 10 minutes. After all, the exclusive skills of the Sura Unity Legion have a long cooldown period. If there is one more demigod in the true sense under this command, it will be of great significance to Fang Fan. You need the power of faith, right? The power of faith is not enough, is it? There is plenty of power of faith, don't worry about it. Continue indoctrination. Without further ado, Fang Fan continued to pull more power of faith from the small world of Shushan Pavilion. Hundreds of strands. Thousands of strands. Tens of thousands of strands. Million. There are as many as you want. This thing doesn't matter. Anyway, if you use it up, you can save it up again. As long as Lena can devour it happily. This devouring process lasted for about an hour. Lena completely devoured almost 10 million strands of power of faith. Boom. Rumbling. Demigod Thunder Tribulation arrived as promised. Coming. This is the most exciting moment. Another demigod is coming soon. Did this attract the demigod Thunder? Is it that simple? How long has it been? 1 hour? 2 hours? What's going on? Taishaji opened his mouth, his eyes couldn't help but drift, he felt that he was stretching his hips now, very hips. She can't even compare to a little girl. The waves behind the Yangtze River push forward the waves ahead. The front wave is not good enough. Hey, this little girl is a subordinate of his apprentice Fang Fan. It's all right now, even his apprentice's disciples are about to go through the tribulation of the demigod Thunder, and he is still here? Inexplicably, I felt uncomfortable in my heart. Boom. Rumble. The violent bombing sound resounded through the surrounding area, making one's mind tremble for a while. If you feel this way, you can tell someone more. For a moment, each of them stared up their eyes, feeling inexplicably excited and surging. My lord, I'm going to cross the catastrophe. Lena showed excitement on her face, and before she left, she had to ask Fang Fan for instructions. In the depths of her consciousness, Fang Fan is the sky. To do anything, you must get Fang Fan's approval. This consciousness is almost engraved in the bone. Go ahead and be careful. If anything happens, let me know in time. Fang Fan nodded, suddenly feeling an inexplicable worry in his heart. Fang Fan is no stranger to Lei Ji, or he has seen it countless times. But the impression left in his heart was not very good. There is even an unnecessary rule, that is, people around him, including himself, will always encounter such and such accidents when they are going through this kind of thunder disaster. This is not the first time. This happens many times. At the end of the endless sky, there are pairs of eyes staring at him. Along the way, Fang Fan seems to have offended many true gods. It's been a long time since I crossed the thunder tribulation, and I don't know if this existence has completely disappeared. It's fine if it's gone. If it still exists, Lena will be in danger. Demigod Lei Ji, that's not a joke. When I crossed the sanctuary thunder tribulation before, I encountered several dangers. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes and began to think about the way forward. When he was crossing the sanctuary thunder tribulation before, Fang Fan would give himself or his pets and followers a sanctuary thunder tribulation exemption card every time, which could save lives at critical times. This sanctuary thunder tribulation exemption card can only be exempted from sanctuary thunder tribulation. This kind of demigod thunder calamity is naturally useless. I don't know if there is an exemption card for demigod thunder tribulation in the card auction system. Fang Fan groaned, his eyes moved slightly. Although there may not be someone disturbing it, this kind of thing must be prevented before it happens. What if? In case of such a thing, who can say clearly? Fang Fan swept back and forth in the card auction system many times, but did not find the special existence of the Demigod Thunder Tribulation Exemption card. But it's not like there's no gain at all. Pixio Swallowing card, after using it, you can summon a god-level Pixio that can devour everything. The auction base price is 10,000 pieces of the God Stone. Each increase in price must not be less than 1,000 pieces of the God Stone. The price is 20,000 pieces of the God Stone. Stock, 1 sheet. Prisoner Sky card, imprison the world for a period of time. Auction base price is 20,000 pieces of the God Stone. Every increase in price shall not be less than 1,000 pieces of the God Stone. One price is 50,000 pieces of the God Stone. Stock, 1 piece. Tianli transfer card, it can transfer the target of the established Sky Thunder. The auction base price is 5,000 pieces of the God Stone. Each increase in price must not be less than 500 pieces of the God Stone, and the price is 10,000 pieces of the God Stone. 2 in stock. These 3 types of cards are what Fang Fan pays most attention to. A Pixio Swallowing card, a Prisoner card, and the Sky Thunder Transfer card. It seems that they are not ordinary things. Fang Fan narrowed his eyes secretly, his thoughts gradually became turbulent, the light in his eyes gradually increased, the corners of his mouth slightly raised, his breathing gradually became rapid. He wants all these cards. But, he is poor. Although they obtained more than 1 million fragments of divine stones in Tianlin city of the Protoss before, all of them were spent on the overall promotion of the Legion. Even the fragments of the 40,000 God stones just exchanged in the Hall of Merit were used to promote the Judgment Unicorn Sacred Beast Legion. It's really down and out now. If you want to directly bid for all these 4 cards at a one-off price, you need 90,000 God stone fragments. Among these people present, who has such financial resources? This is not a small sum. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, his thoughts gradually became messy, and his thoughts were surging. Fang Fan licked his lips, then took a deep breath, the depths of his eyes were full of endless light shining. Fang Fan saw Bai Piao jumping up and down. In fact, if you want to say who has the most cash in hand now, it must be Bai Piao. Although Fang Fan only gave him 10% or even half of it each time when he was a logistics officer, but this guy didn't spend much. Unlike Fang Fan, there are still 10 legions supporting him all the time. No matter how many star cores and God stone fragments Fang Fan earns for a big eater like the top 10 legions, it will not help. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3733. Now, it's almost time to hit the local tyrants and divide the land. There is a great opportunity in front of you, you can't miss it after all. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, the corner of his mouth was still smiling, and his thoughts gradually rose. This wave is quite interesting. Brother Bai Piao. Fang Fan smiled and nodded slightly. Bai Piao's body trembled unnaturally suddenly, and then he shrank his neck again, looking terrified. Fang Fan. As for what? Are you so scared when you see me? Am I so scary? Acting like I'm some kind of monster. Why? What are you doing? Fang Fan boy, what tricks are you trying to play on me? Please don't call me Brother Bai Piao. I can't afford it, I really can't afford it. Every time you call me that, it's definitely not good. Damn it, you're definitely going to trick me again. Hey, Fang Fan boy, I have nothing left, don't trick me, please. Oh, I see, why don't you want me to fight Thunder for your confidant again? Grass. It was like this the last time Chu Sisi crossed the Holy Lord's Thunder Tribulation, damn it. The Holy Lord's thunder tribulation is already terrifying. At that time, labor and capital almost died. Now this is the demigod thunder tribulation. Fang Fan boy, do you really have a long-term heart? If you simply want to kill me, you can just say so, okay. Can we not engage in these things? I'm scared, really, really scared. In all aspects, let's stop. My mentality is broken. The mumbling voices increased, full of sighs. While talking, Bai Piao quickly shook his head buzzing. What the hell is going on? Let's hold on tight, shall we? Fang Fan. Before Fang Fan could say a word, he let Bai Piao do all the talking. This guy is very emotional now, and the more he talks, the more excited he is. The body kept shaking and shaking. When he spoke, his eyes were full of horror. True, very true indeed. But how to say this stuff, it's really not necessary. Brother Bai Piao, why are you doing this? Hey, in my heart, Brother Bai Piao has always been unrestrained. To a certain extent, Brother Bai Piao is my idol. I have always recognized it like this. Hey, if I call you Brother Bai Piao, that's also a respect for Brother Bai Piao. I just yelled, and Bai Piao acted like this. Isn't that slapping me in the face? I have a huge business here and I want to discuss it with Brother Bai Piao. If this thing really happens, the harvest will be more than 1,000,000 God stone fragments. But it's really not interesting to see Brother Bai Piao like this. Since that's the case, let's forget it, just treat it as if I fed my heart to the dog. Fang Fan sighed deeply, and when he spoke, his eyes followed, what he said was a sigh. The more I said it, the more it felt like that was the case. Listen, it feels inexplicably abrupt. I always feel bad. Among them, there are many problems. A big business of millions of God stone fragments. There is also this good thing. If there is a reconciliation, can you tell me? Your eyes are not clean, you must be thinking about some conspiracy. Fang Fan boy, I know you too well. I know exactly what you look like. You fart, I know what it smells like. Bai Piao raised her head up, and while talking, she immediately spoke with confidence. Fang Fan. The more this is said, the more it is a bit far-fetched. Since Brother Bai Piao is not interested, forget it. I'm looking for someone else. Anyway, the most indispensable thing in our Guangming Academy is people. Fang Fan sighed with indifference. Although Bai Piao knew that there was a conspiracy in it, but seeing Fang Fan's words so mysterious, Bai Piao couldn't help but itch in his heart. This kind of thing, who can say for sure? What if there is really any good in it? At that time, won't it take off in full swing? With a great opportunity in front of him, he was suddenly full of thoughts, and his breathing gradually became rapid. Ask yourself, although Fang Fan has been tricking me, but how should I put it, it is true that every time I get on his thief ship, I can get some benefits. For example, when I worked as a logistics officer for him, I made a lot of money. Could it be this way again? Well, it's okay to ask. Bai Piao licked his lips, and then began to brainstorm, thinking silently in his heart, and his eyes flickered with infinite energy. The more you think about it, the clearer your thoughts become. What big business? Tell me. Hey, the main reason is that I'm afraid that you will be cheated, so I just want to check for you or something. After all, I have much more experience than your kid. Bai Piao nodded, then shook his head coquettishly and said, although this business is good, it requires a lot of capital. If you want to buy a share, you also need to spend some capital. Don't dare to say that it's a lot of money, but it's definitely no problem. Fang Fan patted his chest and said seriously. Greed is nature. Bai Piao licked his lips, looking excited at the moment. Good guy. 100 times the income? Then why hesitate? Go straight. Opportunities are right in front of you, and those who don't grasp them are sand sculptures. He doesn't want to accept such a sand sculpture start. This time I thought silently in my heart, and the sound of breathing gradually became rapid. It's really exciting right now. Chance. This is the opportunity. Not much else to say, now we have to follow the full sprint. The opportunity is clear. Explain. Say it, Fang fanboy. Why? What are you doing with me? Which one of us is with whom? We are as good as one person. Isn't mine yours, isn't yours mine? What I said is okay, right? Hurry up. Bai Biao is already planning a scenario where his capital will be doubled by 100 times. So how many chips do you have? Fang Fan glanced intentionally or unintentionally at the thunderball in the sky outside, and then prepared to say something. We'll talk about that later. What do you say is a good deal first? I've been waiting so long, I'm so hungry and thirsty. Fang Fan, you really know how to whet people's appetite. Bai Biao gritted his teeth, rolled his eyes and said. Did you see the power of faith just now? Fang Fan began to guide him step by step. I see, what's the matter, isn't it because your newly recruited confidant was shocked by the power of faith, and then attracted the demigod thunder tribulation? Hey, Fang Fan boy, you are playing more and more fancy now. It's all right now, even the demigods are playing. Bai Biao smashed his mouth, feeling somewhat envious. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3734. This guy Bai Biao likes to talk nonsense, Fang Fan already knew it. Well, we haven't known each other for a day or two. This is an old problem. In a short period of time, I am afraid it will not be changed. But overall it's not a big problem. What Fang Fan wants is not this guy's character, but this guy's pocket. Do you think those supreme saints outside will like these powers of faith? Fang Fan smiled and induced again. Nonsense. Grass. Who the hell doesn't want to be promoted to a demigod? Damn it, if it wasn't for my physique, I would humming like to be promoted to demigod. What a great opportunity. It's time to take off. Hey, it's a pity that it has nothing to do with me. What does Fang Fan Niu mean by that? Why I still don't understand. Why do I feel like your kid is leading me into the ditch little by little? Did you do it on purpose, boy? Do you want to deliberately limping me? Then you kid can do it easily. Good guy, this little thought is not a star. Bai Biao rolled his eyes, and couldn't help complaining all over the place. What I'm talking about now is called a righteous one. The more I talk, the more excited I become, the more I talk, the more surging, and all kinds of thoughts seem to be quite real. It just doesn't feel like that. Think about it, if I build a practice room dedicated to storing the power of faith. As long as people enter this training room, they can directly feel the full impact of the power of faith. Such a cultivator is a good place for those supreme saints, especially for those demigods. So, you understand. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, then continued to laugh. Bai Biao blinked, she was really confused at first. But after being reminded so many times by Fang Fan, he suddenly realized. Open a power of faith practice room, open it to those supreme saints and demigods from the outside world, and collect their rent. CAO. This is absolute. Fang Fan boy, you are so awesome. Such a good place is irresistible to those strong. At that time, everyone will have to come and pay the rent. And the spending power of those powerful people can be imagined. At that time, business can not only be carried out in the light camp, but also people from the dark camp and neutral camp can be drawn together. Hey, after all, The Protoss is now in front of the enemy, and the allies are all one family. As long as there are enough fragments of the God Stone and star cores, the others are nothing. Tisk. In this way, what else is there to say? Why not just take off? Fang Fan, only you can think of such a good benefit. Tisk tut tut. This is the big deal your kid said. I don't feel poked. Boy Fang Fan, just be responsible for providing the power of faith when the time comes, and I will manage the rest for you when the time comes. Ha ha ha, it's posted again. The fragments of the sacred stone captured by these strong men in the hands of the Protoss will belong to us. Hey, people are sitting at home, and the fragments of the God Stone float over by themselves. It's embarrassing, isn't it? But if you have to give it to us, we can only accept it. The more Bai Piao talked, the more excited he became. While talking, his brain kept shaking up and down, and the excitement on his face was beyond words. It's hard to express that feeling in a few words. How refreshing. Exciting. Bashi. Beautiful. It just took off in full swing. The other ones are missing, what else is there to say? Isn't it good to just stab in place? Felt it? Thoughts are also flying. Fang Fan raised his eyebrows, and sighed silently in his heart, this guy is really a good material for doing business. Fang Fan really didn't think so long term. Fang Fan just started, and this guy added clearly what was behind. Rich future. Why? This thing is really good. But, there are also some problems. If these problems are not done well, there will still be problems. Fang Fan shrugged, raised his eyebrows silently, and then started to fool around again. Slowly, thoughts will follow in full swing. Excitement, here we come. What is the problem? What could be wrong with that? Who dares to stop? I'm the first to say no. It's such a good thing. It's all about benefits and no harm. Okay, deal. Bai Piao waved his hand and said excitedly. The key is that there are a few fragments of the God Stone. It's not so easy to create a fully enclosed training room that can fully integrate with the power of faith. I have tested it. If you use the fragments of the God Stone to build it, you can solve this problem perfectly. The key now is that there are some fragments of the God Stone. It's all my fault for using up the fragments of the Divine Stone in my hand, otherwise there would be no need to ask Brother Bai Piao for financing. Fang Fan shrugged, and then sighed, his eyes fluttered slightly, and his expression looked very indifferent. In a word, the expression is very in place. What's the meaning? Do you want fragments of the God Stone to build a practice room? Grass. Is everything so extravagant now? Aren't these fragments of the Divine Stone just scrapped? The God Stone fragments have not been earned yet, so you paid for them first. What's the matter? Only fools are willing to do this kind of thing. Bai Piao shook his head like a rattle, and when he spoke, he seemed very shrewd. Using the fragments of the God Stone to build the training room is purely for its good sealing and full fit with the power of faith. Isn't the fragment of the Divine Stone still there? Take a step back, even if the power of faith training room doesn't make any money, and you smash it, the fragments of the Divine Stone will still be there, and you won't be able to escape. Anyway, I told Brother Bai Piao about this. If it happens to happen, there is such a business opportunity, and I really don't have enough God Stone fragments in my hand, so I found Brother Bai Piao and planned to make a fortune with Brother Bai Piao. But if Brother Bai Piao doesn't want to, forget it, this kind of thing is not easy to force, it's not a big problem. Fang Fan shrugged, then said calmly. This matter is a trivial matter, and there are not too many aspects involved. At least the situation can be fully stabilized. Is it not a big problem? Why do I feel that this is a big problem? I vote for this training room. Boy Fang Fan, tell me how many fragments of the God Stone you want. It would be a pity if such a good deal was stranded, wouldn't it? Must hold on. Well, that's right. Bai Piao now only has the fragments of the God Stone and the Star Core in his eyes. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3735. After all, this guy still hasn't understood the sinister truth of the human heart. Now my heart is still happy. 100,000. All you need is 100,000 God Stone fragments. Fang Fan nodded and said calmly. Puff. Cough, cough cough cough. The corner of Bai Piao's mouth twitched, almost spitting out a mouthful of blood. Good guy, what the hell, can it still work? What the hell? Just open your mouth? 100,000 God Stone fragments. Fang Fan boy, are you serious? Don't be like this, Fang Fan boy. I'm scared now. You are too crazy. Let's hang on. I'm sure I don't have 100,000 God Stone fragments. Last time, more than 1,000,000 fragments of the Divine Stone were swallowed up by you kid, and I didn't get any. Bai Piao began to cry poorly. Although this deal sounds very interesting, but what does this thing have to do with him? If it's really blood money, this kid Fang Fan will definitely take the big head away. So on the whole, it seems that there is not much connection. Among them, the weirdness is inexplicable. Bai Piao's eyes turned slightly, and his thoughts gradually fluttered. But Bai Piao would definitely not be happy to let him give up such a good opportunity to make a fortune and invest. Getting rich was his crazy idea. When I think of these now, I feel inexplicably irritated, inexplicably. Thoughts are flying in the air. Feelings burst out in an all-round way. Oh! There are no God Stone fragments. So, you gave up such a good opportunity. For it. If that's the case, forget it. It's nothing, it doesn't matter. I'm not in a hurry anyway. The power of faith is an excellent existence, no matter for those cultivators of the Supreme Saint realm or those of the semi-God realm. Why? Anyway, this is a lucrative deal. And if this business channel is fully opened up, there will be a steady stream of customers in the future. It's okay, small problem. Don't have any psychological burden. This kind of thing is not a big problem. I mainly fell in love with Brother Bai Piao's communication skills. Brother Bai Piao, if you really don't want to, forget it. No matter what, this can't embarrass Brother Bai Piao. Fang Fan looked like he was sitting firmly on the Diao Tai. Almost stable. This matter is set now. Although this guy Bai Piao complained about Fang Fan every time, he was a mercenary. To put it bluntly, if something happens, I don't care at all, and I don't have much feeling in my heart, and I even feel that it is nothing. This taste, this feeling, fearless. So that's the situation at the moment. Basically stabilized now. The situation is fully established. I only have 70,000. A little more than 70,000 fragments of the God Stone. Boy Fang Fan, I really only have so many. Why? This is all my wealth. It's really not easy for me to save this point. You kid was generous when you were wasting those God Stone fragments in front of you, as if you didn't care. But with me, it's so hard to save a little. You kid is too prodigal. I don't know how to cherish it at all. What are you thinking in your heart, kid? Do you really think I don't know? I just want to pit my God Stone fragments. Fang Fan, you won't let me down, will you? I really trust you unconditionally. Hey, if you let me down, you are really not human. Boy Fang Fan. Bai Piao squirmed his lips, looking at Fang Fan eagerly, and his lips trembled as he spoke. The endless thoughts in the depths of the heart are fully gathered, and the feelings are also fully superimposed. Bai Piao looked at Fang Fan tearfully, his expression seemed too ambiguous. Fang Fan stood where he was, with a dazed expression on his face. Damn it! Grass! Unbearable! Too big, man, really can't be like this. It's as if I've done something to you. Why do you have such a resentful face now? It made Fang Fan look like some top-notch scumbag. Fang Fan took a deep breath, his eyes flickered uncontrollably, various thoughts gathered in his heart, and his expression was unpredictable. Damn it, it's nothing, what a humming dog. A heart, completely messy. Thoughts burst out completely. You two, something is wrong. You two don't have any friendship, do you? Why do I feel like the two of you like to talk when you get together, every time you do, and you're so excited? It's endless to talk about. Is it really as it is said? The same sex is true love? The opposite sex is just for reproduction. Huh? Is that the case? If it's really like this, then play with the hammer. This is it. The muttering sound followed, and the sound of full-scale complaints gradually came into place. Not much else to say, this time thoughts gathered in my heart, and my thoughts followed violently. That kind of taste, let alone tell anyone. Xiangfei muttered, her beautiful eyes kept sweeping back and forth on Fang Fan and Bai Biao while speaking. She already felt wrong. It's just what I said before, I haven't said it all the time. You little girl, what are you thinking about in your head? What is my sexual orientation? Haven't you figured it out in your heart? Shall I try it now? Fang Fan licked his lips, and then came to Xiangfei's ear and whispered softly. While speaking, his eyes flickered and his thoughts were fully raised. Thoughts gradually increased. The feeling is in place, the taste is endless, that's about it. Steady as Mount Tai. You, don't do this. My father is still here. The roots of Xiangfei's ears turned red instantly, and her pretty face instantly turned extremely red. While talking, she quickly shifted her gaze to other directions, and her breathing gradually became rapid as she spoke. A messy heart, a messy feeling, everything is flying in the air. This time the taste, but also with whom to tell. Slowly, everything became numb. Difficult to go to the blue sky. This feeling completely pulls the hips. Shui Wanren, deputy head of the Guangming Academy who was standing aside, clenched his fists and twitched his lips at the moment, but in the end he could only sigh, and then turned his gaze away. Others are not available, needless to say, are useless. It's not a day or two since this bastard has been so presumptuous in front of him. How should I put it, this taste is very numb. The more you think about it, the worse it gets. Why? I can't control the affairs of young people. I just hope this kid won't disappoint concubine Xiang. Hey, who can be sure about the future? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3736. Shui Wanren's eyes gradually moved down, and various thoughts in his mind became more and more numerous. Now, he can still control the situation. After all, he is still a weak semi-god existence, and he is the first deputy palace master of Guangming Academy. But the future is uncertain. There is a high probability that he will stay where he is, but this bastard Fang Fan grows up too fast. Relatively speaking, the speed of his own cultivation is also extremely astonishing. I remember that when this kid first entered the Guangming Academy, he didn't even seem to be in the sanctuary realm. Haven't even survived the sanctuary thunder tribulation? What now? It is also the existence of the 5-star peak sanctuary realm. Of course, compared with the overall combat power he possesses now, this cultivation base is not surprising. This kid was able to capture the heads of 3 demigod powerhouses among the gods, so he naturally has demigod combat power around him. In addition, the girl named Lena next to him is also starting to survive the demigod thunder disaster. Once passed, another demigod can be added. Hey, it looks like I've known this bastard for a long time, but it's only been a year or so. Such an arrogance, who can match it? Give him another 100 years to surpass me, no problem. At that time, I may not have much power to speak in front of him. It's conceivable what it will look like when it comes to that time. Xiangfei is with this kid, I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse. Life is glorious, but there is a lot to bear in my heart. If you can't bear it, there is really something wrong. Why? It used to be difficult to find water. Never mind, whatever. Think of these things as the past, don't think so much. At this moment, complete silence is enough. Thinking too much doesn't make any sense. The demigod Leiji of the girl named Lena next to this kid seems to be a bit variable. This day's thunder induction is too strong. Shui Wanren couldn't help frowning, thinking to himself, his thoughts gradually became chaotic, the more he thought, the whole heart trembled. When Sisi and the keel whale battle pet beside him crossed G, Leiji was also extraordinary. Do you want to reproduce the previous picture? Why is it so difficult for everyone around this kid to cross the thunder tribulation? Is there any special saying in it? If there is no head at all, it must be fake. Here, there must be problems. I don't know where the problem is. This bastard has been refusing to say that he is not the body of a true god. But those things that happened around him can only be done by the true god. And why? What's going wrong here? There is a problem, there is definitely a problem. Could it be that this kid is an evil god? He is not tolerated by the true gods of the camp of light and darkness. That's not right. At that time, the goddess Athena personally sent down the phantom of the real god to bless this kid. Does this mean that the true god is still optimistic about this kid? As for the change of Tianli, it must be the intervention of the true god to make some changes in Tianli. Perhaps the true god who is hostile to this kid is deliberately making trouble. But a normal person, why would the true god deliberately target you? And against it again and again? Huh? Is it really because of being too idle? This explanation obviously doesn't work. There must be tricks in it. Even if this bastard is not a true god, he has something to do with the true god. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, squinted his eyes, thinking to himself, his thoughts were completely fluttering. The more you think, the deeper your feelings, the more your thoughts run wild, and your whole person gradually falls into an excellent state. Feelings gather in the heart, thoughts burst here, and everything else is lost. It's numb, there is really an inexplicable numbness. Very real, very clear. On Fang Fan's side, he finally got the 70,000 or 80,000 pieces of the divine stone in Bai Piao's hands. Seeing Bai Piao like this, Fang Fan almost couldn't bear it. Damn, that cried like a pear blossom with rain. If it was a woman, Fang Fan would most likely hold her in his arms and comfort her. It's a pity that this thing is a big guy who picks his feet. Don't worry, I will take care of the matter in the Power of Faith training room. At that time, this capital should still be recovered. Fang Fan took the fragments of the divine stone, and immediately bid for the 4 cards with 1 price. Now is the critical moment of life and death. Others that are available or not, can take off if you grasp them. Pixio Swallowing card, after using it, you can summon a god-level Pixio that can devour everything. The auction base price is 10,000 pieces of the god stone. Each increase in price must not be less than 1,000 pieces of the god stone. The price is 20,000 pieces of the god stone. Stock, 1 sheet. Prisoner Sky card, imprison the world for a period of time. Auction base price is 20,000 pieces of the God Stone. Every increase in price shall not be less than 1,000 pieces of the God Stone. One price is 50,000 pieces of the God Stone. Stock, 1 piece. Tianli transfer card, it can transfer the target of the established Sky Thunder. The auction base price is 5,000 pieces of the God Stone. Each increase in price must not be less than 500 pieces of the God Stone, and the price is 10,000 pieces of the God Stone. 2 in stock. 2 Sky Thunder transfer cards, 1 Prison Sky card, and 1 Pixio Swallow card. These are all in place. These should be of great benefit to Leiji. When it comes to critical times, these are also life-saving. Etc. Something's wrong, Fang Fan kid, what do you mean by that? Why does it sound like you didn't plan to create a training room with the power of faith? Tell me honestly, is this power of faith cultivator built with fragments of the God Stone? Ah! Say. Fang Fan, you have no heart. I did it? You kid cheated on me again. Damn it! Boy Fang Fan, give me back the fragments of the God Stone. I don't want it anymore, I don't want to play anymore. Gritting her teeth, Bai Piao said with an excited face. Hey, the little family property that I finally saved, naturally I can't just squander it casually. Now I want to get this property back as soon as possible. Can't wander anymore. My thoughts are completely messed up. My brain is buzzing. For it. It's all spent. Rest assured. It will be paid back. By the way, after you get rid of all the treasures you got from the warehouse of the Lord's mansion in Tianlin City, you can deduct them from it. Fang Fan waved his hand, then shrugged and said calmly. Not a big problem. These are minor issues. There's no need to dwell on this matter all the time. Bai Piao's complexion was pale, with an attitude of lovelessness. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3737. Before that, he was just skeptical. It's all right now, there's no need to doubt it anymore, this thing is going to be a real hit. Why? It's so sad. This is being cheated again and again. Can we pay a little attention to rhythm, a little attention to proportion and so on? Going around like this, I really can't grasp it. Mentality, isn't it good to just burst into blood? What else is there to say about this stuff? Ah. What? If labor and capital trust you again in the future, I will be a dog. Grass. Boy Fang Fan, I didn't see you clearly until today. You kid is simply not human. Ah. What the hell was I thinking? Why did you suddenly become greedy? Otherwise, you kid won't find a chance to conspire against me. Shameless. Despicable. Obscene. I see it through. I see it through. The mumbling voice followed, and the gnashing of teeth was fully displayed. At this moment, he was thinking silently, and his eyes were full of murderous intent. The more he thought about it, the messy his thoughts became, and black lines appeared on his forehead. This time the taste, but also with whom to tell. Can't wait to roar to the end. Excruciatingly painful, and extremely hopeless. For Bai Piao, this fragment of the divine stone is simply his lifeblood. It's just like this now, it's gone, I definitely can't change my mind for a while. In the future, you will pay me double compensation. Bai Piao just made a fuss for a while, then raised his head again and said arrogantly. This guy is purely dog-faced. Crying for a while and laughing for a while, I don't know what is going on in this guy's mind. A wave of bells and whistles. It's just for fun anyway. Boom. Rumbling. The sound of violent bombing came, and the surrounding world changed color. Everything is fully established, which makes the soul tremble. At this moment, silently watching all this, I don't know what to say. Demigod thunder tribulation, it's coming. This demigod thunder tribulation, you can tell from the sound that it is extremely bad. This, hiss, is much worse than the demigod's thunder tribulation I went through back then. Fang Fan, you bastard, you kid, pay attention to yourself. Hey, it's better to be mentally prepared. At the beginning, Sisi and your battle pet keel whale were extremely lucky to survive the thunder disaster of the Holy Lord. And after all, it's just the thunder tribulation of the Holy Venerable. And this is the demigod thunder tribulation. The evil demigod Leiji, who can compete with him? These are not on the same level at all. It's a far cry. The difference is too much. The voices of emotion gradually increased, and when he spoke, his eyes flickered with strange brilliance. Words are in place, thoughts are in place. That's pretty much it. Very real and very clear. Everyone's eyes were attracted by Leiji, and they immediately stood on the tower of Yuanji God City, watching the landing of the demigod Leiji. At this moment, Lena was looking for a place outside the city to prepare for the tribulation. Feeling the crazy power of the demigod thunder tribulation, Lena couldn't help feeling a little desperate for a moment. She is not a fool, nor is she unable to perceive the power of it. It must be a good thing to be able to attract the demigod Leiji by devouring the power of faith, which represents an opportunity for comprehensive promotion. But if this demigod thunder tribulation is too monstrous, what's the point? Then everything came to an end. It's over. It's all over. If you can't resist this demigod thunder disaster, it's better not to provoke it in the first place. If this provokes you, you have to fight to the end. The point is, I really can't bear it. Lena's gaze swept across the surroundings hurriedly, looking for that familiar figure. When he saw Fang Fan standing on the tower and looking at her, Lena's heart suddenly became much quieter, and her whole body became calm. God is still there. The Lord is still there. That should be fine. The power of the God Lord is through the heavens. As long as the Almighty is willing to help, there is absolutely no problem. Thinking silently in my heart beats all over, and the radiance in my eyes gradually increased. At this moment, a head was moving up and down, and his thoughts were surging to the extreme. His face was blushing, and he was deeply touched. Everything was silent. Steady. This wave is indeed stable. If you feel this way, tell someone more. A smile gradually appeared on Lena's face, and then she looked confidently at the audience. At the moment, there are quite a few melon-eating people watching the theater around. These demigod thunder tribulations have emerged in an endless stream recently. Just now, Cao Jike, the first inspector of the former city guards of Guangming God City, survived the demigod thunder tribulation and became a demigod. Now here is another one. Are these demigods promoted so easily now? Is the demigod going to become a Chinese cabbage? Who is that woman? She looks so beautiful and looks so young. Can she become a demigod? Hey, anything can happen in this territory of the gods. Envy, and hate, but it's useless, people are so strong. If you calculate it this way, I'm so humming hip. Is it because the life and death battle with the Protoss stimulated everyone, so they were promoted smoothly? Don't talk about those who are there, but who is this beauty? This demigod Thunder G is much stronger than Caog's demigod Leiji. It feels like it doesn't exist on one level. Hey, according to my many years of experience, most of them won't survive like this. This road has been completely eliminated. To put it bluntly, this is a dead end. My CAO, can't I? Being able to survive the demigod thunder disaster at such a young age, the future is limitless. That's how he died. This is too stretchy, isn't it? Steady down, you really can't wave. Damn it, there must be something tricky in it. It's true to be safe, and the others are nothing, nothing. Everyone should stand a little farther away when standing, and don't put yourself in it. It's really dangerous. Quick, get back. I seem to have seen this woman, in the Hall of Merit. This seems to be a reward item, right? It can be exchanged for contribution points. Back then, I remembered that this woman was still locked in a cage. How did she escape? Don't be so general, say something affirmative. What's going on? It's the woman from the Hall of Merit. I remembered. The hearts of the people who eat melons have been completely surging. At this moment, he was gnashing his teeth, his eyes were firm, his sense of hope was full, his thoughts were surging to the extreme, and his ideas were rushing to the extreme. The more I thought about it, the more my complexion gradually became extremely rosy. I don't want to say much about the other ones, anyway, I'll talk about it when I'm happy. Anyway, just a few booing will be fine. People who eat melons are never afraid to make things big. Instead, they love the feeling. Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3738. What's the situation? Where is the strong man? There shouldn't be too many women in the Supreme Saint realm. Why don't you have any impression? And he is already going through the demigod thunder tribulation. If he is successfully promoted, he will be a good seed. Is this someone from the dark camp? Or from the neutral camp? It's so strange that Mo Suya broke out suddenly. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, also came out to watch the excitement. Seeing the scene now, he couldn't help but sigh. This thing is a bit interesting. So beautiful. What a temperamental woman. I like it. I like this. Father. Arrange for me. I want this. I haven't slept with a demigod yet. Cao Man, the young lord of Guangming God City, embarked on a throbbing journey again. Roll. Worthless stuff. Who dares to provoke? Sooner or later, I will die in your hands. Bastard thing. I don't know temperance at all. I don't know why now I always feel that this kind of novelty must have something to do with that Fang Fan. Among all the people present, I am afraid that he is the only one who can come up with so many strange things. It's not normal, it's really not normal. If you want to talk about the problem must be here. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, squinted his eyes, and then, his sharp eyes swept across the surroundings, and then suddenly saw the people of Guangming Academy somewhere in the city tower. And among these people, there is Fang Fan. At this moment, the beautiful girl under the demigod thunder tribulation was looking at Fang Fan. Ordinary people would definitely not be able to notice it, after all, it was so far away, and it didn't seem so obvious. But Cao Tang believed from the very beginning that the beautiful girl who had crossed the catastrophe had something to do with Fang Fan. Under such a major premise, the appearance of what will evolve is particularly clear. There was a certain rhythm to this matter from the very beginning. Just like in front of you, as stable as Mount Tai. At least the mind has been fully stabilized. As for the remaining ones, there is no need to care too much for the time being. She belongs to Fang Fan. Fang Fan will soon have an extra quasi-demigod. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, said very affirmatively. At this time, it is already a fully established state. What? Fang Fans again. Grass. Why? Why do all the benefits belong to him? I don't have anything. Not fair. It's not fair. I don't agree. It shouldn't be like this. The murmuring sound followed, and the panting sound gathered in all directions. Thinking secretly in my heart, the resentment in my heart also increased. The more I think about it, the more angry I feel in my heart. Too difficult. My brain is about to split open. What is going on here? Cao man clenched his fists, not only resentment, but also jealousy in his heart. What's there? It just provoked the demigod thunder tribulation. I don't believe he can survive such a turbulent thunder tribulation. Snort. Is it that strong? I don't believe it. If the fragrance disappears in the end, I'd like to see Fang Fan's expression. But speaking of it, Dad, how did you find out that this woman belongs to Fang Fan? I've never seen this woman around him. Dad, did you read it wrong? Cao man frowned and complained. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, pondered silently, and didn't speak for the first time, because he felt that talking to his son was simply lowering his IQ. How could there be such a stupid existence in this world? Too difficult. Now those messy pictures in my mind are frantically gathering, and my brain is about to be completely cracked. This is really a splitting headache. If this girl is really Fang Fan's person, she will definitely be able to survive the tribulation of demigod thunder. His people, there will be no accidents. I've heard that the war pets and women around him were already shocking the world when they survived the thunder disaster of the Holy Lord. But in the end, it's not over. He is an extremely mysterious existence. Don't try to compete with him. Useless and even less interesting. There are too many secrets hidden in him. These secrets are sometimes like clouds and smoke from the past, making them unpredictable. It's still unknown what it will look like in the end. Everything, at the right time. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, murmured to himself, his eyes slightly curled up, and the corners of his mouth rose slightly as he spoke, his thoughts gradually surging. The more you think about it, the deeper you feel. It is more than words. Boom. Rumble. The endless thunder continues to flicker. The demigod thunder tribulation is particularly special. Generally speaking, there are 3 lightning tribulations for the Holy Venerable, and 1 more lightning tribulation for the demigod, which is 4 heavenly thunders. Survive these 4 thunderstorms, even if everyone is happy. The first thunder of the demigod thunder calamity is generally at the level of the Supreme Saint. The second thunder, a stronger Supreme Saint level. The third thunder is almost a quasi-demigod level. The fourth sky thunder is also the last one, a stronger quasi-demigod level. If you follow the routine, you won't be so nervous. After all, according to conventional calculations, even the last thunderbolt is only at the quasi-demigod level. This level of thunder is actually not very oppressive. If you just feel it, you may not be able to grasp it in your heart. Boom. The first demigod thunder tribulation began to brew, and then gradually began to descend. Quasi-demigod level. The first is the quasi-demigod level sky thunder. And it's still a relatively strong quasi-demigod class. Isn't this, of this level generally the last and fourth thunder of the demigod thunder tribulation? Why? Something went wrong again. Fang Fan bastard, what's going on? Do you know it yourself? Why are you here, every time this tribulation is so special? Before your boys Battle Pet and Sisi did the same thing when they crossed the Holy Thunder tribulation. A good holy saint can survive the thunder tribulation even stronger than the demigod thunder tribulation. Now this demigod thunder tribulation is even more powerful. What is the secret of such a shocking power hidden in your kid? It makes these people want to come and trouble you. You boy, tell me honestly, what is the situation? The thunder in the sky is controlled by the supreme true gods. Did you offend too many true gods when you were a true god before? So now it's tripping you up. This is the only possibility now. Shui Wanren, deputy head of Guangming Academy, raised his eyebrows, then nodded with a solemn face. The more I think about it, the more I feel that this is the case. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Divine System of the Strongest Card Supplier in the End Times, Doomsday Strongest Card Supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3739. Fang Fan stood where he was, his head exploded. Why? Here we go again. I don't even know how to change the excuse a little bit. I began to doubt that he was a real god again. Say what you want, if I care, then I really lost. But if I don't care, you can't help it either. He yelled something, but it was nothing. The mentality is completely collapsed, this is the most important thing. As for the other ones that are there or not, it doesn't matter, and I don't care. Anyway, it's all over. As for the fact that Lena's demigod thunder tribulation will increase its power, from Fang Fan's point of view, he is used to it. There are some existences out there that have been targeting him. Fang Fan secretly squinted his eyes, thinking to himself, and the killing intent in his heart followed. With his hands folded in front of him, his breathing suddenly became much faster. The eyes were blood red, as if they were about to stab in all directions. This kind of feeling, this kind of taste, can be shared with anyone. Everything is different. The first quasi-demigod level sky thunder fell from the demigod thunder calamity. Click. Lena stubbornly resisted. At first, Fang Fan did not choose to help. If Lena couldn't hold back the first day, even with his help, Lena couldn't hold back. Fang Fan looked at the endless heavens, and he seemed to be able to see a phantom in the endless heavens flashing back and forth in front of his eyes. At this moment, there was a different kind of smile on his face. That expression, that gesture, everything looked different. True God. Deliberately targeting my true God. He. Chiu memorized it bit by bit. Thunder has fallen. Lena took a deep look at where Fang Fan was, and then rushed up without hesitation. Boom. Click. Lena trembled wildly in the sky thunder, and then completely integrated with the sky thunder. Looking at it at a glance, it feels weird and inexplicable. Ah! A shrill scream came, and Lena's trembling body fell straight down. Being hit by a quasi-demigod level thunder, that feeling is naturally uncomfortable. And this is just the first one. Lena felt a little desperate at the moment. She felt that she would not be able to survive the second thunderstorm no matter what. This is too difficult. It feels like the road ahead is completely blocked. If you continue to stab forward, there is only one dead end. This dead end is just blocked in front of him, without any meaning and value. In my heart, I even feel extremely at a loss. Lena, who was curled up on the ground, tremblingly looked towards a certain direction not far away. Seeing that familiar face, she felt a little more stable inside. Fang Fan approached Lena. Use the healing card. Quick. Do not hesitate. The next thunder tribulation, I will help you. Fang Fan said silently. Fang Fan squinted his eyes, holding many cards in his hand, and fell into endless meditation in his heart. Time to show real technology. At this time, you must not continue to make mistakes. Mistakes to the end, everything will be completely cold. This does not go along with Fang Fan's imaginary comprehensive plan. In this wave, the mentality must be completely collapsed. After receiving Fang Fan's voice transmission, Lena, who was originally depressed, suddenly brightened her beautiful eyes. God Lord, the Lord did not abandon her. His Majesty the God Lord wants to personally help her overcome the catastrophe. His Majesty the Divine Lord needs to hide his identity now, but if he helps her overcome the catastrophe, will the real body be noticed by other hostile true gods in the God realm? If this is really the case, then, that would be a great sin. I can't go to the God realm to fight against the true God in advance just because I let the God Lord crown him down and can't repair myself. The grace of the God Lord is unforgettable. I, I can't drag the God Lord down. Lena rolled her beautiful eyes, and at this moment, she already had some different thoughts in her heart. Then there was a firm look in his eyes. At this time, the idea of proving the Tao with death has been buried in my heart. Didn't you hear what I said? Quick! Use the healing card. Before you cross the catastrophe, I gave you the healing card. Seeing that Lena hadn't moved for a long time, Fang Fan couldn't help frowning. This is the most serious life and death juncture, and you still desert. Hey, it really shouldn't be like this. At this moment, we should uphold the most serious attitude. There must be no deviations. If there is a mistake or omission in this, it will all be over. Especially at times like this, you must hold on and hold on. Rumble. Boom. The second thunder from the demigod thunder tribulation also gathered by itself. Endless thunder flashed in the air, and the oppressive feeling became even stronger. For a moment, it gave people a sense of endless trembling in the mind. Such a feeling and taste, let alone tell anyone. Everything is different. Crazy sense of oppression swept over, almost making the whole brain confused. That taste, despair, and a trace of confusion. Too painful. Madness and anxiety gathered in his mind, and he didn't know what to express at all. The second sky thunder gradually took shape. Its power is also displayed invisibly. Weak demigod level sky thunder. It's over. I definitely can't bear it. Lena's eyes trembled, and then she couldn't help laughing bitterly. This road was blocked from the beginning. What is displayed in front of him is also a dead end. Now that it's a dead end, what else is there to say? Everything is cool. There is no hope. Completely broke down. The murmuring sound came, gradually becoming extremely numb. With such a mentality, who can I talk to? Endless sighs could not be heard from the surroundings. This weird demigod thunder robbery. Demigod thunder tribulation belongs to 4 realms. One is stronger than one. An ordinary demigod thunder tribulation, even the strongest 4th thunder, is usually a quasi-demigod thunder. It's only the second way that you have risen to the weak demigod level. What the hell, are there still people alive? This is clearly trying to force people to death. Hey, I really don't know what to think. What are you thinking in your head? Disgusting, want to vomit. I really vomited it to the end, I'm really convinced. Dog thing. What a humming dog. Why are you so angry? Good guy, can't walk when you see a woman. Speaking of which, this woman is really that Fang Fan's person. You see that woman looks at the big brother Fang Fan with affection. Hey, all the beauties in the world belong to this big boss Fang Fan. Awesome. Heroes make boys. All kinds of roaring sounds in the surrounding area are gradually in place, and the people who eat melons don't have much to do. They make complaints about each other. Each of them talked, the more they talked, the more excited they became, and the more they talked, the more surging they became. Immediately, the brilliance in the eyes grew more and more. How interesting it feels. It's so much fun. This day the thunder did not fall on him. It's pain that befalls one's body, but isn't it fun when it befalls others? Divine system of the strongest card supplier in the end times, Doomsday strongest card supplier. Author, Shu Yu. Chapter 3740. I guessed right. Really? It really belongs to this kid. Cao Tang, the lord of Guangming God City, looked at Fang Fan and Lena's communication, and couldn't help sighing. This kid has always looked very evil. It's fine if it's once or twice, and Cao Tang won't pay too much attention to it. But if this happens over and over again, then the problem is quite serious. Although his identity is still unknown, he is definitely not ordinary. Hey, Goddess Athena threw herself into her arms. When the people around him crossed the thunder tribulation, there was a real God who interfered with the thunder tribulation and caused him trouble. This should be his enemy. People who are related to this kid are not smooth when they cross the tribulation. Coincidentally, there must be tricks in this. No problem at all. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. I just don't know what the problem is. Hee. Sooner or later, he'll have to figure it out. A murmuring sound followed, and the city lord Cao-10 gradually became more interested. Seeing what his unlucky son was about to say, Cao-10 turned his head directly, but I didn't listen to the bastard chanting scriptures. The crowd was chaotic. Cao Jiga was in the group. The spring breeze is proud of horseshoe disease. He is also a quasi-demigod who has just survived the demigod thunder calamity promotion not long ago. Before he was promoted to the demigod realm, if he saw other people crossing the tribulation, he would feel somewhat bored in his heart. But now that I have succeeded in crossing the tribulation, if I go to watch other people cross the tribulation under such circumstances, not only will I not feel bored, but I will even feel a sense of smoothness all over my body. This gaudy feeling gradually came into place, and the sparkle in his eyes also increased. This time the taste, and who to tell? Anyway, it's cool. If the thunder tribulation I survived was so strong, let alone survived it, even if it was the second thunderstorm, I would not be able to withstand it. Hey, God still takes care of me. At the very least, at least you saved my life. Almost lost everything. Good on. This is really scary. Why? It's okay to be mediocre. At least Tianli can follow mediocrity this day, and it will be much easier to save his life. If it is not so mediocre, it will be dangerous at every turn. Who can grasp it? It's a blessing in disguise. Caog deeply understood this truth at this moment. Snored. This Fang Fan, Yanfu is really not shallow. The beauties around me have never been cut off. But this time, let you feel the taste of failure. It's a dead end. This path was fully defined from the very beginning. Steady. Steady as Mount Tai. I want to see what Fang Fan's expression looks like when he sees his confidant die under the lightning calamity. Damn it, anything that can make this bastard feel uncomfortable is a great gift to me. Cool. And the feeling is really cool. Just thinking about it for a while, I can feel the sourness all over my body. Comfortable. This effect is what I want. I love it, I really love it. Caog raised his eyebrows, thinking to himself, couldn't help jumping up all over, and then the sound of breathing became more and more rapid, and the sparkle in his eyes gradually increased. The more you think, the more your thoughts fly. This taste, the more you feel it, the more you like it. It's such a taste, so happy. Snored. It would be great if Tianli could kill this boy and his woman together. It also saves the saint from all the trouble. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, walked aside at some point, and couldn't help frowning while talking, thinking to himself, his eyes couldn't help trembling. Thoughts gathered, and all kinds of thoughts in my mind also increased. The more you think about it, the more complicated it becomes. A heart gradually became extremely messy. A wave of bells and whistles. Everything looks extra special. It feels like everything is different. Everything will definitely be as the Holy One wishes. Don't worry, Lord Saint, there won't be any problems. My Lord, the Holy One, strategizes and wins thousands of miles away. This damned Fang Fan dares to confront Lord Saint, this is a dead end in itself. It was he himself who embarked on this road of no return, and he can't blame others. When he is completely dead, he will understand. Master Saint is mighty. The muttering sound followed, and Caog couldn't help but nodded and bowed aside, and then started the process of flattering. This flattering technique is not very good, but how should I put it, if you listen to it, it's okay. Anyway, I'm in a good mood now, and everything I listen to feels kind in this situation. If it's really that kind of boring situation, even if you kowtow and sing, it won't have any effect. Ah. Tianlei can only kill this woman. But it can be regarded as cutting off the left and right arms of this kid. Otherwise, there is another demigod next to this kid, it's really hard to deal with. Where did he recruit these rare talents? One is more peculiar than the other. Wang Tu, the first-class saint in the Temple of the Alliance of Light, narrowed his eyes silently, and his expression changed unpredictably as he spoke. The thunder is rolling, and the thunder is at the right time. Husband, why did you run over? What if Tianli hurts my husband? Come back soon. Concubine Xiang bit her red lips, her face couldn't help showing worry, her eyes flickered as she spoke, and her lips trembled slightly. Don't worry, this kid has a sense of proportion in his heart. I feel like there should be no problem. Shui Wanren frowned, and then he was not very sure. I don't even know what you're worried about. Can you still not know the essence of Fang Fan? This kid's cleverness is comparable to that of a gibbon. Hey, as for him cheating others, have you ever seen what kind of losses this kid has suffered? This is a master who does not suffer. If this Lena is really destined to die, this kid won't waste time going up. This kid took my 70,000 or 80,000 pieces of the God Stone, and he went to save this woman. Hey, that's all my net worth. Fang Fan is not a son of man. It's too difficult for me. Fang Fan is too shameless. Bai Piao gritted her teeth, and while talking, couldn't help sighing from the sidelines. While speaking, her eyebrows were raised completely, her expression was unpredictable, and various thoughts in her heart gradually increased. At this time, there are many thoughts in my heart. The more you think about it, the worse it becomes, and the more you think about it, the messy it gets. The property is gone. Tens of thousands of God Stone fragments are gone. The fun is gone.